What's up, everybody? What's up?
What's happening? It's your man DOC, in the building.
Lady T, aka Pinky. How about
Getting on my nerves, boy. Oh man, what's really going on here?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Give you a few minutes to get on in here.
While we listen to the delightful sounds of your man Doc Killer featuring Ash 13 and my man Jay Adams. They call him Slick. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? If you haven't done it yet, get on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, and go pick up Lessons in Life, baby. Right here, the exclusive. I did this myself. Get it off our rights. Where you at, Ash 13?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
It's time to set up the shooting.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it today.
Got a big head thinking nobody can handle me.
I ain't playing with Chicago's weather. I'm not playing with them. I'm not playing with weather. No.
Is it something in the water?
Hey.
Or something in the air? Can I get some of that water? What is it that we're learning?
Hey.
Why don't we seem to care?
It's Alkaline. Why do talk shows have to have water, something to drink? Alkaline.
That's right, 9.5% pH balance, baby. Dr. Sebi in the building. I can discipline my children without going to jail. Come on, cuz, where you at? What's up, Anand? I see people starting to check in. We finna get down.
You moved the water?
No, you had it. I ain't been down here for the water. I know the homeless veteran. Alright, let me give some of them bars and some of this water. I've been gone for a while, now I'm back. Thought we had it made. 2015, modern day shot, jack of spades, soldier at heart, ready, able, always willing. I fought for this country, now my fight is for the children.
Hey.
Simple to the right as I ignite. Thought you knew this. Thought that I would stand down, please. You must be foolish. No other one to say, no need to pretend.
All right, we're going to pull some people in on this conversation.
Right, in a sights, it's an all-out manhunt. Used to be a time when
all right, share the video.
Yo, that's right. Share this video right now. We finna get down. It's gonna be like a town hall meeting here. We finna get it in for real. What's up, JT, the baddest woman in Stewart County history? That's what I'm talking
we got
about.
Sylvia Gangsta now. We got Rebel, Love Flora. That's my cousin. What's up, y'all? What's happening?
I gotta send a shout out to my boy Robert Nelson. Today is his birthday. I've known this dude for over 40 years, G.
That's a beautiful
Even
thing.
though I only look like I'm 27 for real.
Whatever.
And I'm going to drink some of this nice, refreshing 9.5 pH balanced water.
That's right.
A toast to the time.
All right, y'all. We need to
right.
have conversations.
On the real top, on the real tip, we finna start doing something seriously for a minute. We finna start doing something. We're going to start a series of podcasts where we're going to try to repair what's going on in our community. And I'm going to call it.
What's up, David? I see you.
And,
all right, Montica, Money, what's happening?
We agreed to call this unity by default, because if we don't come together and fix what's going on in our community, in our neighborhood, within our race, we're gonna perish. We're gonna become like an endangered species. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So it's some necessary conversations.
Right yeah. All right. That was your man Doc Killer, DOCILLI, featuring Ash 13 and my man Jay Adams, better known as Slick. I hope he's tuning in. If you are, man, we might pull you in and take you on live tonight, Slick, okay? You know what I'm saying? See, I'm looking at a couple of different cameras, so we gotta,
right, multitask here.
Yeah, get used to that balance.
Absolutely.
But tell the people why we decided to do this tonight.
Well, there were two memes posted that I posted actually. One was, what would a woman? How if a woman give a man her whole check, she is a what? If a man give his woman his entire check, he's a what?
Let me address the first one. You
guys went in.
Let me address the first one. The first comment I seen was a Delta Alpha Mike food. I'm choosing not to use any profanity because we have a nice, clean family show.
Oh yeah.
But I looked at that, and the first thing I thought is, man, how much of this negativity is going to, how much of it are we going to drown in?
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's an automatic censor when you come at a person with something that would appear to be positive,
Mm-hmm.
and people of your own complexion see it,
Mm-hmm.
they automatically look for something bad in it.
Okay.
And they can hear it coming from another source, and I'm not going to say what the source is,
Uh-oh.
and they will automatically accept it. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking it's still part of the PTSD. And for those who don't know what that stands for, that's post-traumatic slavery disorder.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten so comfortable with our master that we've actually taken on what it is he was forcing us to receive, and we are voluntarily doing it to each other.
So the whole point of the topic is we need to have a conversation because we have this misconception of the provider source in the homes. And so I labeled it that way because the first thing we see is our parents. How do they do things at home? How do they think? So you be coming from a perspective of a biological parents in the household.
Okay.
I'm going to come from a perspective of I have a stepfather and a mother. And there are other ones, same thing if it's the father and the stepmother. So you emulate what you see. And True. I believe that for the people that made the post like they made the comments on the post like they did,
it was speaking from experience.
Exactly. It was speaking from basically what they saw.
Okay.
And so I believe that's probably where their comments came from.
Okay.
And so and when you see things, you try to like reposition your thoughts and figure out, hey, and that's why I use the term woman and man. Because the first thing that can be a man is if I get a man, I ain't gonna let him do that. And if I get a woman, I ain't gonna let her do that. That's the first thing you say as a kid coming up.
Okay, let me ask you from a standpoint, and we're just gonna say in terms of what you heard, because it's not necessarily the way it was for each individual. Now you brought up the term, me coming from a two-parent household, my mother and my father, you coming from your mother, your stepfather.
Right.
But we cannot leave out that single parent. We got a whole lot of single parents, and we got single parents who have children that were, some of those children were born from parents who were drug abusers. So some of them were, quote unquote, crack babies. They had drugs in their system.
Yeah, but we trying to we in the content of a provider and source.
Okay, I got you.
And we want to stay within that context of because the reason why you can use a single mother because that's another angle, like a single mother and a boyfriend.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Because you still got an influence coming.
Right. Either way,
no matter how you look at it,
it's still an influence coming some sort of
cool.
way. If she's a single mother, she has a boyfriend. That's still coming over. And if we really want to go real ridiculous, we can go.
Boy, I know you.
We want to go real ridiculous. We can say we got a mother and a father. I mean, a male and a side chick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
I know he's my father, but he really can't be here.
Right.
Just
me and my side piece.
Yeah. So it's a lot of different angles that we can come from, but mainly we got to understand the roles of of a man and a woman in the household, and also a man and a wife and a husband.
Okay.
A mother and a father. They want to know how. I think that everything been shifted and shaped from society that we gotten away from what truly is it that we need to do, how to make a functioning household. And reason why I use a check because everything went from manual work to now a paycheck because you got to pay for everything now. It's not that you go work for it now; you have to pay for it now.
All right, let's just put the meat on the table and chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from a perspective of a man that came from a two-parent household, I mean that's normal to me. That's what I saw on TV growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw in my home. My father was the breadwinner. My mother, for many, many, many years, did not work.
Right.
She was at home with us.
Right.
And we were, I guess what you would call middle class. I mean, I think that we were actually poor, but at that time, the economy was different.
Right, definitely.
I mean, $5 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to go to the store, M&M's. Man, hey, I'm going to leave that alone right now.
Right.
But, man, coming from, I came from a traditional household that would have been looked at as, okay, man, woman, child.
Mm-hmm.
The father was the head of the household. The woman was the helpmate. The children were the result of their love.
Right.
And the responsibility was on the man to provide for the wife.
Right.
And that's based on whatever your religious beliefs are. I mean, if you're Christian, I guess it would be, if you're Muslim, I mean, Muslim, Christian, Jew, whatever. It's still, the order doesn't change.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest, all of those should fall in line. But you don't have that now. The actual roles have been reversed.
Right.
On all of the jobs that I've worked, and I've worked my entire life. I got my first job when I was 12. I was buying my own school clothes.
Right.
But men made the money. And so me seeing my father get up and go to work every day gave me the mindset that no matter what, I got to provide.
Right.
So, boom, it's a no-brainer for me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You emulating what you saw.
That's
you
it.
Projecting. I mean, you got a projection of this is how it's supposed to be in the household. And that's why it was so good to have you on, to do this show and be on this show is because coming from that angle. And I believe most of us came from that type of structure. But also you had some who didn't. So I thought that was
at what point do you think the change came into play?
Well, I think that's why I'm saying in different households probably were different depending on how the mother and father was being treated as a provider.
You said
how
they were being treated?
Think about it. Say because what if your father had to work 2 jobs and he tired all the time because he had to provide for the household, period. And so that means he's tired. That means he can't, give his kids quality time and things like that. He might be angry. He might be, you know what I mean?
See,
some of those things.
Okay, you said he might be angry. And I'm
like,
wait
tired.
a minute. Okay.
He might be,
but see, that's different too because I'm going to tell you something. My father didn't do no lot of talking. It wasn't none of that. My father, man, he worked. The lights was on, the water was there, the food was on the table. He did his job.
Right.
That's what we need.
Right.
And that was the example that I had to go from. It wasn't coming in and hugging, I love you. No, none of that.
But even like what if you want to go? He don't have time to take you to the baseball game. He don't have time to show you anything. I mean, some kids develop, anger towards that because they didn't have that certain quality time.
My thing is this. See, when you come from a time when you knew what was going on and you weren't being force-fed things, and I mean, it could be anything. It could be religion, force-fed, a thought system, anything. Then you accepted what you were given. And see, that's what we did because we came from nothing. So when we had anything, it was good. But we used to take trips. My father we used to go down south. Everybody load up in the car. He say, man, we going down south. Everybody just got their stuff and went. Wasn't nobody questioning.
Yeah.
Big Jew, man, he was like pioneer. Big ups to Big G. You know what I'm saying? Because he played no games. And everybody was scared of him.
Really?
It was like, man, people terrified of your father. Man, that dude got that deep voice. He like 6'3" and like 250s, 260. Man, he was
something. Y'all had strength, provide provision and things like that. And so far as when it came to like even down to the discipline in the household with your dad, and if your mother had any problems with that, did your father, who's the disciplinary?
No, we didn't have no problems, man. My father beat the hell out you. And then if he wasn't there, my mother beat the hell out you, man. She get that belt partner, it ain't no joke, man. It wasn't nothing to play with. I would much rather get a whooping from my mother than my father. Man, he's strong. He was like 6. Man, he pick you up by one arm. I tell you to get your and hit you with every syllable. And it wasn't no child abuse because we had phones where you had to dial that number and you got to go all the way around. You got to come. By the time you hit the first number, man, you had the skin beat off you.
Yeah,
and everybody talking about child abuse now. No, that was discipline. I fear my father more than I did the police. That's why I wouldn't do nothing wrong. See, that's what we got to get back to.
Yeah, that's a sign.
We got checking in right there. We got Riggins, Postmaster.
Big up to everybody. Thanks for checking in.
Man, what's happening? Show. What's happening?
It's a conversation that need to be happening because we have it misconstrued on, the providers. Do they come together? Is it a certain role that each one play? And looking at the comments, if you go back and look at the post, you'll see the comments people have made. And this is why I feel like it was very necessary to have this conversation. So you looked at your father as being just a sole provider, period. He kept a roof on your head.
Sole
blah, blah,
provider.
Blah, blah.
He was a mechanic. He was the disciplinarian. He was that dude that led the neighborhood as far as, man, wasn't nobody coming on our block causing no problems. It wasn't getting down like that.
So when it comes to your mother being a provider, so what was her role as being a provider?
She's not the provider. She's
well, she provides some type of way, whether
no,
it's
but
love.
see, when you say provider, we speaking in monetary terms. We talking about when you're the provider, you're supplying the money that it takes to run that household. You're buying the clothes. You're making sure that the finances are in place to be able to take care of
your mother didn't have to do no finances at all.
No, she handed over the check. Man, she knew what to do with it. She went and paid them bills like they were supposed to be paid. Made sure that we had clothes, made sure that everything was aligned. And then if we were short, man, we had a barter system with the store. You used to go around to Mr. Armstrong, she'd send you around with a note and say, man, can I get this until Thursday? Man, even at Pete's store, you had Mr. Armstrong and Pete's store. And man, you could go to the store, you would be able to get your groceries, and she'd be on a promissory that, when you get paid this weekend, boom, we got your money. And man, for
she still made it happen. So that was
cool. Man.
So y'all seem like y'all was in a balanced structure,
Yeah, because they knew what the balance was. See, they knew based on, man, they got married, I guess that had to be in like the early 60s because Clarence was born in 60. So I have to look at their wedding certificate, but I think it was right there around 59 or 60.
Okay.
So yeah, we had and that's normal for me. That was a normal household. So when I watched TV and I saw families, you normally really didn't see black families until you had Good Times and the Jeffersons, but all of the families I saw, man, it was a mother, father, the children. There wasn't no such thing as no single parent household.
Sylvia said the woman is the financial planner. Can you agree with that?
Yeah, I can say that. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I think that as long as we look at the balance and the structure, the way it was set up to be, we'll be cool. And I think that all of your religions offer the same thing. It's just that everybody took what they wanted from it and said, okay, I'm gonna run with it like this, instead of following that the real plan that was put in place. And that's why we got all this hell on earth right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You see, coming from a mother and a stepfather, it's a whole different ball game now. And
what's up, Michelle?
It's a whole different ball games. And it was the good thing about it, the balance were there. We did have a male and a female there. And I truly am grateful for my stepfather today, who can never be called my stepfather. You can never. He was never a step. It was always, he was my dad. I was his daughter, period.
Why do they call it a step, though? I never really figured that out.
Really? Ain't that something we need to look at? Why
do you call them a step?
Because, we got to look at what the step
how did they even come to play? Because at the end of the day, if you was in there providing and doing all the things that a father should do. Right. But you know what? There are things where it says that if that's not your child, you don't call it your child. You're doing your part. But I think it's just I think everything is a play on words.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Because man, you got scriptures where you would talk about what is it, paternity, but they just didn't call it paternity.
Oh, okay.
Be like, man, what about my son? That's not your son. You don't know.
Right.
You don't know, but God knows. It's like I say when I was doing the lives before, man, everybody that's able to view this right now, man, you won your first race. And when you win your first race, that means that you living. What's up, Lanye? What's up? Oh, Maurice, how you feeling, money? Man, you got Georgia checking in. You got people all over the country. Yeah, people all over the country checking in right now. We having a real life topic. Tina posted something the other day and said, a woman that comes in and hands her man a check.
An entire check.
What do you call her?
Yeah, same vice versa. If a man come in.
People started japping. Y'all started japping.
It's not japping. I think I wouldn't call it japping. I would call it that they responding based on what they're seeing.
But my thing is this. I'm like, how do you call? I'm trying to figure out how you come to that term. I see what you're saying based on your experience, but everybody's experience is different.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one experience.
You categorize an action based on your experience.
Absolutely.
If you ain't never left your block, your neighborhood, or done anything different, then your mind is enclosed.
Well, think about it. Back in the day, in our era, we had to be at home before the street light. So it's like we had a certain time frame within to create this picture.
But
you know, so
do you know what the street life thing was about?
Well, we ain't finna go there. But I'm just saying that I'm just saying
all of that
timing
comes into play. Yeah,
I got you, but we talking about just keeping when we reason why they japped out and say a certain thing is because I believe it's based on what they have seen. You know.
Okay.
For instance, if you got a wife who controls everything, she controls all the money and everything, and it's how she do it that may make a kid say, "Oh, I get married. Oh, my woman ain't gonna control my check like that. I'm gonna control the check."
Well, that's
see what I'm saying. So I want to come with these different type of things that people may see things differently, and why they feel the way they feel. I believe there's some negative things that went on in the home that make people feel the way they feel, or based upon previous relationships.
Or was it perception?
Well, I mean, they look at it as a negative perception, and they have the right to feel that way if they feel in some type of way about how a person is feeling when they do a certain thing. The biggest breakup in most relationships today is over finance, more than anything. Besides cheating,
misuse of finance.
Yeah,
misuse of
right, misuse of finance. And so a lot of people, you can have a woman that want what she want, but you already know the income that your husband is bringing in. So this is my thing. If my husband only gonna make a certain amount of money, I want to live in a better house. I know that his income can only take care of what he's able to take care of. I want that house. Guess what I got to do? I got to go work. I got to bring in that extra income to meet the need.
Now, when you say that, that's a good point, because this goes directly with the line of questioning that you posted.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go get this job or whatever it is you need to earn the extra income and get this house,
mm-hmm.
do you look down on him because he wasn't able to do it himself? Because I see a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people do that. Yeah. And that's where, again, that's part of the whole financial thing.
Yeah.
People are looked at based on what they're able to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got some people that are educationally challenged,
mm-hmm.
financially challenged,
mm-hmm.
intellectually challenged,
mm-hmm.
by the law. How would you call that? Legally challenged,
right.
Because you got to put it where it is. A lot of the opportunities have never been balanced across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, you got to be exceptional when you look at us,
mm-hmm.
when you look like us.
Right.
And if you're not, then, man, you might find yourself struggling.
Pretty much.
So if you find yourself struggling, now, I hear a lot of people talk about how they don't need a man or need a woman or whatever.
Yeah.
But, man,
I hear that a lot today more.
The same thing. Mm-hmm. I hear the term, my kids come first. I'm like, wait a minute. If your kids come first, you do realize without the man or the woman, you wouldn't have a kid.
That's true. And that's another,
see,
proper order. That's a whole another proper order as well.
See, I mean,
but yeah, it's go real deeper. But the whole thing is like when I went and saw the comments, and even what I loved about this, when I posted one, what happens, what's a man that gives his woman his entire check? The men came from some very extraordinary, amazing comments. They have viewpoints. And I'm telling you, I said, you know what? I got to bring some of them in, and I'm gonna tag them in there.
I want to read this comment that Michelle just put on, because it looked like she put a documentary up here. Hold on a second. She said, half my dad's check went into the financial fund, and my mom's went into the bills. Dad paid repairs. Ended up that dad's income was put into the retirement for them. Unfortunately, dad passed, but mom was and is taken care of. Wow. So, man, that's an excellent comment. I like that. See, right. So the preparation was in place.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's money, half of dad's check went towards the bills. The other went towards the preparation. The preparation for the future. So when he was no longer there, the family was still taken care of. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And
see, that's
the type of input that we need, because people need to know how these things work, how they exist, in order for us to have functioning relationships that'll work economically and otherwise. That's good stuff. I like that.
That's very. We got Sylvia with the second problem is people enter relationship for the wrong reason. Most are looking for a come up.
Ooh, a come up.
You know,
like a hustle, like we are.
Right, you hustling your relationship, and this would make a turn off
like
to a
going
man.
to JT back in the day. But
you know,
man, that's such a good point.
That was a good one,
God.
right? I was like, wow, people do look at stuff like it's coming, and it, you know, and then some people in relationship just only solely for business. It's a business deal.
Actually, a relationship is a business deal. A marriage is, because think about it. You can get married. And I see people do crazy things, man. I done shot weddings. And man, just to see, I've actually seen attitudes change as they was walking down the aisle. It was so crazy.
Really?
Like, yes, I would snap extra pictures just so I could show you what it was. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But when you look at it, I see people spend a whole lot of money on a wedding. And you spend all this money on a wedding, and that money could have went towards a house. It could have paid off something.
And that is I got nieces coming up today, and now and this is the whole point of me wanting to have these type of shows, because you want them to see a whole different mindset. Like, I don't want them to be so hung up on a fairy tale wedding, which is nice. And if you have the money to do so, and it's not hurting you, and you still be able to go to a home after you leave, you know. But it's so much more you can do with that. I think that people need to spend wisely.
Lanye, get off of my thread right now, talking about she missed the conversation because she watching Game of Thrones. Then get off my channel. Go. Somebody else can be watching. I don't believe this, man. We talking about saving the community, and she tuned in to TV.
Tasha Jackson said a man needs a woman needs a man.
Thank you.
We are here to support one another. Let's give a round of applause.
Big ups. We got to get a little bell or something. When we get a hot comment, we got to put the bell on the comment. Hey, but what you call it just said something too. Michelle said she said they trusted each other, and it worked for them.
Oh yeah,
man,
that is the whole point. Because it was a guy that was on mine. He was like, "Oh, I'm only going to give that to my wife now." You know, and when I posted, even though I said woman. The first thing when you read to give a woman's check, she got to be some more than just your woman. Yeah, automatically. True. And so most men responded correctly. I'm gonna give that opportunity to my wife based upon trust. But you got some guys. A guy say that his woman can do the same thing for him. She can give her entire check to him, and he would do right by it.
Man. I like the way the people is chiming in today too, man. People getting engaged. Yeah, I love it.
This is a conversation that needs to be had.
It got to be had.
Because we need to know. Basis. People need to know. I mean, what is the order?
Yeah, stupid.
What is the order? Now, if you go to the biblical form and it said, like, I'm gonna read it from the Bible. You give you certain scriptures and stuff. And then
pull out my Quran.
Yeah. And so you listening to it's. Now I'm gonna share this link in the comic view, you guys, and take a look at it. Whether you agree or don't agree, we have to have some principles and some morals and a foundation. Like, I mean, what is the order? Did we get away from things? Because even when you go back to the Bible, nobody living, even what the Bible's saying, it's not that. Even Quran saying, or even if you go back to Kemet or any type of religion background that you have on spirituality, people not living what is known to do. It's like they made up their own thing as they went along.
Well, I mean,
so just like listen to this. One of the primary roles of a husband in the Bible is to lead. Leadership simply means influence. Therefore, a biblical-based husband should influence his family. Husbands are dictators. They should not demand. They should not rule over their wives. Instead, husbands should influence their wives and family in accordance with the Bible teaching. They should amplify with their voice and their actions, attributes that brings glory to the Most High and value to their spouse and family. The fruit of good biblical-based husband is strong, confident, spiritually mature wife and family. So it's a lot more to that, but I'm just saying how today young men being brought up, they have no clue to that.
Well,
they have no clue that they're being brought up. They don't have that foundation in household. They doing them. You got mothers spoiling the boys. They thinking that that's another point. You got mothers spoiling boys and thinking that is how a man that's what's supposed to expect. My woman gonna take care of me.
No, that's such good.
And see, they being raised in that.
What's up, Tiff? Man, that's my battle buddy.
Yeah,
Afghanistan.
Really?
I think Tiff, you still in New York? But man, that's so loaded.
So this is what I mean by the household been shaping and shifting our young people minds into believing this the way things go. So we have to change. We got to change back what was given. We changed things. They say the baby boomers changed things.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't that we changed it. It's a
what you mean?
No, you got to think about it. You got to look at the circumstances.
If I grew up knowing what the foundation is, I know this.
Okay.
But I go change, and my son see me or my daughter see me taking care of man when I know that's totally not what I come from.
Okay.
You know. So who changed it? Did my mama change it or did I change it? I changed it.
There's it's a few things that come into play.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that you're making it sound like a person changed it, when in actuality, there's a system that helped you to change it. There was a mindset that's been implemented into the bodies of most of the people. Because you got to remember, when we was coming up, there was no social media.
Mm-hmm.
There was about 5 TV stations, 2, 5, 7, 9, 44, and 26.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever was on TV, it wasn't no going to a different room. No, everybody watched the same thing. And it was predominantly what your mother or your father said. The heads of the household. The heads of the household was always in place, and people followed the order. It was a divine thing. So when you're doing that, what's up, Ezel? That's my man there, 10 grand, baby. I salute you. I salute you too,
I like
Tim.
Yolanda. Yolanda said, he said, if we live by that meaning, we would have more successful relationship. Probably based upon what I just read. Right. But going back to what we changed, you saying that it was a mindset implemented.
Now, it's a mindset, and it's a systematic, divisive change.
Right.
You got to think about it. You got to think about how many men were jailed for petty crimes, as they call them, or for whatever reason. You got to think about. They had a movie back in the 70s called Claudine. You had my man. What's his name with the deep voice that played Mufasa?
Right.
James Earl Jones. He was a garbage man. And then you had what's that real beautiful woman? She used to be. I need to
add some people to the live chat as well, because I want them to speak from race perspective as well. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. You can invite them. Where's that invite button at? It's a little button on there where you can invite. Oh, Sabrina's in the building too. What's up, Sabrina? How you feeling?
Oh, here it is. Gotcha.
Oh, okay, yeah. Invite friends.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, so they can get in. You got the volume turned up on there, so they can. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, this finna get real. This finna get real interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a topic when people come.
Mark Jones, what's up, cuz? How you feeling, man? I need you in on this conversation too, because you're a real man about yours, brother. You provide for your family. I want to
get on the live chat with me. I want them to get in and post their view. So we'll see how they work out.
I mean, everybody is I
want them to
comment, right?
No, I want. Well,
you want to be able to read the comment?
No, I read comment. I want them to be able to come on the show and give their point of view.
Come in live. Some of them, like you have a where you can invite them to come on.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So where's that at?
Let's see. I don't see the little button popping up there. It used to just show.
Right. So I'm just waiting. Hopefully, if I tag you guys and get to come on in. See, bring him on camera. Here go one right here. Tommy Hayes. I want to bring him on. Right, here we go. Right here. Let's see how they work out.
She's chiming in hard today. She said society changed. When families needed help and made women lie about the marital status to get assistance, especially when husband couldn't get jobs or get paid enough. See, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, cuz, that's cool. But yeah, it's a lot of little things like that caused strains on relationships, and then that's what happened. They started building what we call the projects.
Right.
The projects, when they were first built, were new housing, and for the people that couldn't afford a house, man, these were nice apartments and things of that nature.
Right.
And they told you, okay, and this was to cause a dependency on the government. That's exactly what it was.
That became the new father.
Exactly. And they said, when you do that, if you watch Claudine, man, they show how the people
That's a prime example.
But hold on. I want the people to hear this.
Go ahead.
The people, man, if you had children and there was a man in that house, you couldn't live in that nice apartment or have that. They would come and check your house to see if you had a new TV, new this or new that.
Right.
If you had alcohol in your house, or if a man has been there, they would actually watch your house to get you into that mindset that you got to be on your own, but keep having kids, because the more kids you have, the more assistance you'll get.
Yeah.
And the dependency grew on that because at a certain point, You got used to not having a man in the house.
Yeah.
And when you used to not having a man in the house,
now you saying I don't need a man.
See, so
That's
it wasn't
what,
that you just changed it on your own. Man, the removal came from the structure within the system.
And this is the point that a friend of mine, like Craig Gaines, came on, and that's why I wanted him to bring him on, because he dropped a jewel in that comment. And if you can go back to it and read it, people, under the man holding a sign, and go to his comment, he came from a different perspective, which I probably need to go back and read it, because he came from that systematic being placed. I love the angle that he came in, is that, when you lower the income of the man, it's hard to live a 90-50s way in a modern days today.
See, and Mark just said it. He's down in Georgia. He said the government was giving you assistance and getting the money right back. And that's exactly what's happening. And people just couldn't see it. See, the whole thing is, you got to look beyond that. It's like this. It's like, let's say you got what you call a bully.
All right.
And this one bully, he taking money from 100 different people. Now, think about this for a second. You getting 100 people sticking them up every month. If them 100 people came together,
right,
they would see that ain't no way in hell one dude can take all our money at one time. You can overthrow that.
Yeah.
And see, that's what this unity by default is all about.
Right.
The minute that we learn to come together, take our resources and use them in our own neighborhoods, because we ain't got no Mr. Armstrong no more.
Right.
We ain't got peace. So we don't have neighborhood grocery stores. You got big department stores and big conglomerates that took over.
Yeah, they wiped out the mom and pop stores.
Well, so we can put them back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All these vacant lots, man, it's easy to get your stuff together. I'm telling you, it's not as hard as you think.
Yeah.
But we gotta get a common accord going where we can share information. We scared to share information.
Yeah.
Everybody want to be the top dog, but guess what? You're not the top dog if you by yourself, because man, they can take you down just the way they built you up. Look at what they did to Cosby. Look at all of the people that we look up to as musicians and actors and stuff.
Right.
That's out of there now.
Sylvia said the problem. The third, he said women suffrage. This is what not black families' problem. Society convinced a black woman that she was the head of the household, and that's true. Man. But that's the way they did it, though. Because once they
spoke on that.
Yeah, that's the way they.
I saw Minister Farrakhan, peace be upon you. He spoke on that one day, and he broke it down eloquently. As a matter of fact, when we get done with this, I'm going to post it on my page. I'm going to post that link. So when you listen to it, you'll see what's going on, because the order has been broken up.
Oh, yeah.
And when the order is broken up, man, it's devastating.
Yeah, but did we allow the order to be broken up?
You say, did you allow it? Let me ask you this.
When I say allow, it's just like when somebody come in your household and say, well, this is how you going to start running your house, period, if you want X, Y, Z. Would you allow that to happen?
Okay.
You like come in, are you going to come in and you're going to change the order of my household? You're going to tell me how to run my household. So I just think that a lot of times, a lot of times we, for instance, if you were, it's just like same thing with a child, but if you were to come in, just for an example, it's just with mama use my child as an example. You're not going to tell me how to raise my child in my house. I'm taking care of my child, so you can't change my structure here. I'm not going to allow you to do that, and to weigh if I want a better life. No, I'm fine with what I have. And I think that's what happened, is because we feel like when you want so much better, and you feel like that is going to be so much better, you grab that bone, you know what I mean? And say, well, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take
what's up, Gun?
A better house, and I'm going to take a better living, neighborhood, better, living in neighborhood, different, just want to say, I want to do better. And you think it's an upscale.
Are you saying that you're not going to accept the order no more? So you saying that you don't want your family, you want to live better than you live?
No, that's the way they make you believe. Like if you say, like for instance, when we use the newer developing houses, and say your husband's unable to provide for this, but you want more. So you got somebody that's offering you something better, So you got to say, you know what, I'm going to leave my husband because that's all he can afford. But if I take this out over here and say, hey, in order for me to live in a better neighborhood, thinking, and I got a newer house, I live in something better than what I have. I might not have much with my husband, but over here, I can live a lot better.
Okay.
So now I got to take the man out of my life just so I can have this. This is what I'm saying. You should be able to say, hey, I'm going to make it with my husband.
Okay, but
versus me saying because I want to live in a better structural home, I'm going to go over here.
But at the end of the day, look at it like this. I understand exactly what you're saying, and that's what happened to a lot of people. But on the other side of that, you can walk away from that man and think you're doing better, and he can just become more determined to be successful at that point. And then you see him on the arms of somebody else, and then you get pissed at him.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, we always opt out of certain things because our lust and our desires for more make us diminish what we do have.
But
we have not been learned. We have to learn how to appreciate what we do have, and work with what we have, versus, saying, well, I'm gonna put this pressure on my husband or put this pressure on my man.
Right. I got a question for the people in the audience. How many of y'all, you just heard what Tina was saying, how many of y'all believe that programming has something to do with this? Because I'm watching what's going on. I talked about it. I talk about the music. I talk about the movies. I talk about everything because I watched it as it was going on and I was paying attention to it. That's why I write music about this stuff. I wrote the song Family Time because all I had to do was think about growing up. Mm-hmm. And man, people love that song. People go crazy when they hear Family Time. And I told it from my perspective. Mm-hmm. People like, man, well, you shouldn't have done it. No, I did it from my perspective because that was my family and that's what I wrote about. That's what I knew. Okay. You want to write about it? Man, write about your experience. But I wrote about mine because that's what it was. And in order for some people to imagine it or try to do it, you got to at least hear about it. It's like the man said when I shot your mom's wedding. He was speaking and he said, in order to be a man, you got to see a man. Mm-hmm. So if there's no man standing there to give an example, you're going to follow what you're doing or what you're seeing. Mm-hmm. And if you see if mama on the toilet sitting down peeing and the door's wide open, if you're a little kid and you don't know no better, man, you'll end up sitting down to pee.
Well, I mean, just like we allow our mom and pop store to be taken over by the big department stores. We had a choice to make then. Is either keep shopping at mom and pop or go to the mom and pop store. That's all I'm basically coming at when it comes to running your household. Should nobody have to come in your house and tell you this is how things go. We have to learn how to appreciate the things that we do have and work with what we have until better presents itself.
Who was having them conversations, though?
That's why we have them.
Who was having them conversations?
That's why we having them, because we need to understand that, because we have entities we have the woman who's pressuring.
I'll jump back in. That is, it came back in. I'm telling you, man.
So I was trying to see if I can get Craig to get on because it was a very good point. And he made like a man who is probably not financially responsible. When black men make 51% to the black woman 49%, it'll be hosts of women wishing this was true. 1950 something. The black man's income towered above the black woman's income, and that was then. So in 2019, basically equal. He said the white male still makes considerably more than the white woman. So black women do more wishing than finding potential good men who possibly make less. I'm blessed that he said he don't have that problem. And so,
and that's a good point.
Yeah, very. I definitely want him to elaborate more on that.
Yeah, see that goes with taking time and getting to know a person. Man, people meet each other today and they pregnant tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, and then you got them on Maury Povich and then paternity court. You are not the father. And man, it's the moral conviction, everything is out the door. The only way that you really gonna have success though, you gotta treat your family like the military. I always equate everything back to the military.
Why?
That's my background. Okay. Because that's what worked though.
Right.
Think about it. It's like the examples. It's just like watching a kung fu movie. You watch Kung Fu movie, you see little bitty kids.
Right.
All of them, they eat together, they exercise together, they practice together, and then when it comes time to fight, they move in unison.
Right.
And the same thing with the military.
Okay.
The military follow that mindset. We train together, we eat together, we fight together, we go to school together. And then when it's time to fight, I ain't even got to look to my left or my right because I already know what's there and know how it's going to go down.
Right.
And that's how we win wars. Why can't we take that same mindset and develop an attitude so that we as a people can come together and get ahead and take the same thing into a relationship?
Yeah.
You can't come in. You got to be willing to follow the order. A lot of people ain't willing to follow the order.
Why is it?
Because, I came into so many.
Why is people don't want to follow? They want to do their own thing.
Because a lot of
so what they're following.
They following money because it's got in God we trust on it, number one. They not following any scripture. Some of them call themselves Christians. They ain't never read the whole Bible. And I don't care what your religion is. If you follow that religion to the point of how you're supposed to, they all will line up. Because I read the Holy Quran and it verifies the Torah and the gospel. So it's not a single prophet I don't believe in because they all mentioned in my book. So you can't tell me what's not. It's like how many people are willing to follow the order. And then you got people that are combative, very combative. And it's because I think this is part of the problem. I think that a lot of women have gotten so used to being the head of the household that they don't know how to come second in command when they get into a relationship with a quote unquote real man. A real man is a
but that ain't what the Bible said. The Bible says that they equally. It's no one better than the other.
Okay, well,
so
I tell you
second
what.
Command.
Let me know how that work out for you.
They both, you know what I'm saying? They both come together collectively. I just believe the roles are just different.
Well, you say the Bible say that. Now I read the Quran, and the Quran said that when he created Adam, he created Eve because he was one. And he was the head of the household. And then when you're talking about it, see, the Quran covers everything. It covers marriage, it covers children, it covers if somebody dies, it covers how to give out your inheritance.
She says equal. It's equal. Yeah. She believes in just it is equal when it comes to certain things. I just believe it's different roles. A man, even though a man be like, I don't need no woman to cook. I can cook myself. I don't need no man to build. I can build myself. But I don't think that's. It's two different things. It's two different roles, and everybody trying to play a role that they can't give their real passion and complete to when it comes to that. But when it comes to treatment, I think that it should be equal. It shouldn't be nothing, separatism from that. I think that roles are separate.
You say, hold on, you lost
just going back to what you said, just equally. It's going back to what I just said about having equal roles. The roles of father. The role of a man and a woman.
Well, see, when I
said they are equally, when it comes to who greater than the other. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't say nothing about being greater than the other one, though.
I just want to make that clarity. That's all I was trying to get you to say.
Oh,
when you say second in command, you got to clarify what that means when you say second in command.
No, I'm saying it like this. Who's supposed to be the protector?
Of course, man.
Who's supposed to be the provider?
They say the man.
Okay. So when I say second in
command... But can a woman be provider too, though? A woman can't provide for her children. The single mothers out here providing every day. What are you talking about?
See, we talking about a family. Tell me, are we talking about a single mother or are we talking about a family?
Well, I'm just saying, don't say, okay, even in the family. I had a lady tell me, trip me out. You know what she told me? She said, I am a single married mother.
Okay.
Mess me up.
I ain't touching that one. I'm
leaving
that completely alone.
But I mean, it meant something to me. A single married mother. So you mean tell me you in a relationship with a husband? I mean, you actually have a husband, but you feel single married mother, meaning that she has to provide. She's a sole provider, and not her husband. But he's there. Right. You got some women that just have a man that have a man.
Consequences or any circumstances saying that like maybe he became disabled as a result of something,
She
and
didn't go any further, but that, I mean, I was just so stung on that. I'm quite sure some variables in that.
Exactly.
I'm quite sure some variables to that, but that tripped me out, and she was adamant about it.
It's like what Michelle said. She said, "Man, and our father, man, because it's sacrifice."
Yeah, definitely a sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. You got to look at the sacrifice of what goes into it. But you got to have an understanding. If you ain't got no understanding, you ain't going to have nothing in the first place. And I'm going to tell you,
but what you got an understanding of if you grew up not knowing. Again, we go right back to the mother gives her son so much to the point that he believed that that's what a woman should do. So he don't have nothing to follow. She's single. She's raising her son, but she also watching his mother, also seeing that his mother give him everything. You know, not making him work for anything, not playing a male's role or anything.
And then you wonder why he screwed up.
Yeah, that's my point. So I'm just saying a lot of that stuff comes from that. They don't even know. Some men don't even, males today don't even know how to take leaderships in their relationships today. Without today, just think about today, man. Say, I need a woman to help me. She got to help pay some bills. Simple as that. And they adamant about it. How you feel about that?
Well, it depends
you know, she got to help out. She got to do something.
Yeah. I say we wipe out everybody and start a new civilization and just teach them the right way. I'm gonna teach
but what is the right way?
I'm gonna teach them.
It's where we at today, and we got young minds coming up today that needs that needs some structure. They need a foundation. They need something. They need something to follow by. It's so all over. It's gotten so out of hand. People don't even know today.
Let me tell you something. I was doing a bit somewhere. My boy was performing. One of my boy's sons was performing somewhere over there on Ash.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the show, you know, I got up and I was telling these cats about this movement that I was starting, the Man Up movement, where I basically want to take a bunch of experienced men and we want to get together with young men. I don't care how old you are. You could be in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. It don't make a difference. If it's something that you don't know how to do, and we have a man that knows how to do it, what we would do is structure an environment where we teach you how to do things as simple as changing a tire, to tying a tie, to properly keeping proper hygiene, basic skills, welding, electrical, stuff like that. All you really need to provide a young man with is the basics for survival. We're not teaching them survival. And in a lot of instances, you're not able to teach them survival because I don't want to say it with that because it'll sound like I'm bashing. I don't want to be bashing. You know what I'm saying? So you want to keep away from that.
Yeah,
but in a lot of instances where you got a single parent, and then let's say you're a man and you don't have any children, but you're trying to show a young man the right way. But then, you know, you got your mom stepping on your toes saying, well, you can't talk to my son, or it's always my baby.
Yeah.
Dude, 34 years old, but this your baby. Like, man, you know what? You crippled. I'm going to leave you crippled over there because ain't nothing I can do for you. This is something, man. This is something that if you can't walk away from that, then it ain't nothing I can teach you.
I believe
but I had a dude, 35 years old. He listened to what I was saying. He was like, man, he said, man, I'm interested. I just got out of the joint. Man, if you can come around and man.
And he got to pay to be with me, and he got to do this, and he got to do that, and so he better drop that money, and just growing up with them times, and the young man would be like, man, ain't no woman gonna make me like that. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you look at it and see what do you have now. Now you got a bunch of young dudes coming up in an environment where they like, man, listen, I ain't giving female nothing. And they call them B's and H's all over the internet. Totally disrespectful.
Very.
And then at a certain age, what you got to remember, young people, that at a certain age, you're going to be that grown up that people are going to be looking at, and they're going to be looking at you real sideways because you lived your life so recklessly and so, man, disrespectfully that you might not be able to come back from it. You got to think about it, man. I look at it like this. Anything that you're going to call a female out in the streets, imagine somebody calling your mama or your daughter.
Yeah. But you got some that actually does that to their own parents, though. So who knows? Like I say, the level of disrespect is unreal. And like I say, just going back to the post, they really went in. And I just say, we need to talk about this because do we really know? Do we know the order? What principles and morals do we follow? Who is it that,
Let's ask the people.
do you
men,
know?
Men, ladies, men, do you have a woman in your life that you trust enough to hand your check to and expect that in return she'll be responsible with it and take care of the household? I think it's going to be a rare yes in there because relationships like that simply don't seem to exist. They're more rare than they are common.
That's true. It was rare back in our day because they knew that that's what it was. But how did we get away? How did they get away from that is basically where I'm at, because I say the way that people comment, something went on. And something went on in a particular era.
Well, it wasn't a single thing, though. It was
what
a lot of different stuff.
Because check this out. I went to and go show you, because I knew he was about to do this show. I went to a senior citizen home. So I spoke with somebody. I was speaking with individuals from 75 years old to 93.
Okay.
Which made me say, it's a mind. It's something that it's a change that went about, had to go about. When I was talking to them, it was no question that they said the roles were there. Okay, so them roles went all the way down to our parents, and so I think that it just started getting worse and worse. So between the age of 75 and 93, it was no question what it was. The man was the sole provider, period. The woman was the one who could clean, take care of the children, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Then it went down to the next era, where I guess the finances are changing, jobs are changing, where now today they need a woman and a man's income to make it. You can't put all of the hardship on the man, so a woman has to step up and help be a part of providing for us.
But do you have to do that, or do you have to learn to live within your means?
That's what I was saying earlier.
You have to learn to live within your means. So you got to stop looking at what's on TV, television. You are scenes transmitted. You think that when you hold, where's that remote? People, I ask, what is this? Remote control. Okay, so what happens with remote control? I control what's going on TV. No, the TV controls what's going on with you. Because that's why they invented cable. TV used to go off at 2 o'clock in the morning. The mind was shut. No, it was 2. And it was shut down, and you couldn't do nothing but go to sleep. So the mind had no choice but to shut down and reboot itself. And once they had cable kick in, you got TVs going on 24 hours. So now, even in your sleep, your thoughts are being programmed by whatever it is that's playing in the background. And if it's saying you should be doing this, guess what you wake up doing? What you've been programmed to do. So you think you own a remote? No, the remote owns you.
So we coming down to our last 3 minutes of our hour. It's really so much to talk about. And I'm hoping that, you guys can just...
Oh, it said bring him on camera. See, there you go. That's
yeah, but I see that.
But yeah, that's how you do it.
You bring somebody. You bring somebody.
See, I should have done it on this one right here.
Mm-hmm. And so it's all about, okay, like I say, I just want to...
that's on your feed. You have to bring him on. You can just tap that button.
But you can do the same thing right there where it says you want to bring on that double...
it's not
double picture. Yeah, you can hit. I think you can hit the... Yeah. Hold on.
Cut off my signal.
Well, yeah, you should be able to touch it.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
Something like that.
What you just say, Michelle? They both provide for the family. Reach. Oh, it should say each has their role in providing for the family. You put reach. All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. So I mean, it's like we gotta, it's the young mind that's coming up. That's what I'm afraid of. And what they see today, you can see a next era of people getting worse. That's basically where I'm at with it. Like, we need to stop this. We need to figure out what is it that we need to do to reshape the minds, like unlearn and relearn, And I can't see that these next generation of kids coming up, can you even possibly see what type of marriage that's gonna be? With them two mindsets together, like how you can even, I think it's gonna come down to a point that nobody gonna get married. Just gonna have relationships, kids all over the place, and no structure, no nothing, just wilding out and all that. That can't happen. We can't recycle.
That's why we got a mentor. That's why I mentor.
Yeah.
I talk to anybody that want to have a conversation. I think that's a necessity. And if you don't, then you part of the problem. If you're not part of the solution, you could absolutely.
And that's what we need. We need more people that step up. We don't have that. We don't have a lot of that. Yep, we don't have that. Sylvia said, fail to plan to fail. You have to come to agreement and stick to the plan. For example, to get a house, car, etc. Of course, we got to come together and plan the whole thing out, and hopefully, and yeah, definitely stick to the plan, because eventually somebody to have a change of heart and mind, which can cause a problem.
She just said something about a house and a car.
She was just saying she planned to get those things.
Mm-hmm. I understand that, but I was thinking about something because I watched Willie D live too sometimes, and he stole a comment from, I forgot who it was. He stole it from, but he said that people think they're successful because they got some money. He said, but if you pull up to your house and in your driveway, and there's more value in that car or with the material you have in your house than you have money in your bank account, then you poor. You live in the opposite of what you should be living, because you're not bringing anything to the table. Who is this? Tracy Banger. I just tuned in. What have I missed? You missed basically a discussion we've been having based on a post that Tina put up a few days ago about what do you call a woman if she brings her check in and hand it to her man. And a lot of people said a damn fool and things of that nature.
And vice versa.
Exactly. And she did the same thing and said, what if you bring your check home and give it to your
wife? Your woman.
No, you said to a woman.
Right. That's why I said a woman. I said, you heard me say it. You changed the woman.
They said, man, out of your damn mind and all that kind of stuff. And it got ridiculous, but it showed me a level of disrespect, a level of hate, a level of taught stupidity, if you will.
Right, I say that. Taught.
Yeah, it's learned stupidity. You got man, but you can only do what you know.
Let me ask you something, and that's good. If and I love the way a young lady said that. I really don't expect my husband to do anything. Only thing I expect him to do is to do what he's supposed to do, and I can see that being simple. But if you got a woman who comes in and just hands you, and I want to go just this far. You got women out here that really, and I'm going to take it to a material level. She buy her man. Every time she turn around, she buying them clothes, she buying them this, she buying them that. She just buy all the time. And the reason why I'm going to use materialistic, because you still have to, I don't want to look at you as just saying that using an entire check. Because sometimes they use their entire check just so they can impress some guy. Or keep this man in the house or whatever, or keep him interested, But I think that's the same thing as giving him your entire check, even if you spend it on something materialistic. I can still view it as the same way. And so when you view it like that, you be like, man, she out of her damn mind to be, constantly always trying to, buy her guy.
What if she equate that to her success?
What you mean?
What if she thinks that? What if this is what she's seen in her life? Like you just said a little while ago. Yeah. This is all. If this is what she's seen, and this is all she knows.
That's my point.
And that's what she needs to do to keep a man in her life, or to keep him faithful. Then those are the steps that she's going to take to do so.
And that's why maybe that's probably some people commenting the way they do it. Like, I can do things for my husband, but for my guy, now I ain't gonna say husband, my guy.
It's hard to speak on something that you don't have any experience in. I mean, all of it is opinion, but we not operating as a family. When I say as a family, as a whole, it's like we should have a collective set of rules that we operate by as a people. And if we're able to do that, then we can establish ourselves and become as dominant as we were in pre-1921 when they burned down Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. Think about it, man.
Yeah, that's the mindset we really need to really get back to, and really have gotten away from. And so we allow, again, media, music, TV, social media, all types of.
I ain't claiming it.
You know,
I'm
allow
telling
that
you,
to
I'm
that.
rebuilding Black Wall Street. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, hey, look, go get your Docula apparel,
Right,
pick up lessons in life. Boom, it's here, baby. It's quality. I give a money back guarantee. Believe that. And my whole thing is to put something out there that's going to cause, that's going to set me up to be able to pass on some generational wealth. That's why I did this. I wanted to give you some quality music that no matter who you're around, you can put it in, play it, and everybody gonna feel good about themselves at the end of listening to it. Yeah. And gonna say, man, if he did this, I can do this. Because you have to think about the picture I use. I put a picture of myself playing myself in a game of chess. My military me versus my civilian me. Right. Because it's two different mindsets. That's true. One has got that coming off Congress and Cal mindset. Right. And the other one has got a pure war mentality. Survival of the fittest. Take care of my soldiers. But at the end of the day, it's all the same person, man. I believe in people, man. Love, happiness, family, man. All of the stuff that I grew up seeing is the stuff that I want to see again. So that's what I'm striving to do, rebuild what we had and make it better, because our parents wanted better for us than they had. Yeah. And somehow it's rolled backwards. Yeah, it's going back and Pam said that I think Pamela Wheeler was like, I think the person who is a better money manager should manage the money. I handle the money well, and they've been married 31 years. Big ups. Man, you got, hey, man, I gotta get a bail. I'm getting a bail for that, because that's
and hot. Make it do what it do. And see, I think that's my final answer.
Yep.
Because
shut up. Let me speak. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. Because I see what's going on here. Now, that's an excellent answer. And for a minute, I was like, okay, I'm just waiting on somebody to chime in and say something negative. That's what we do. We are programmed to look for something negative coming from us, when actually that's your answer right there. But you got to have discussions. You got to be able to see who's good at what. And see, that's another part of the poison that's been put on us. You got this, I say within the last couple of generations, where they say, okay, everybody gets to play, everybody gets a prize, there's no competition. There is no trying a lot of things and failing at something so you can figure out what you actually good at. If they tell you that everybody gets a prize, everybody is this, what they're doing is reproducing failure so that you never achieve anything. Because if everybody doing the same thing, like all the music sound exactly the same right now. Yeah. Man, the music, when I was coming up, light years better than what's out today, except for this, because this here's got originality. But man, it's about your individuality, what you bring to the table. Each individual has something special to offer, but you not being able to see that because everything is being silly putty. Man, just keep duplicating the same thing, and everybody sound the same, and everybody do the same thing, and that's how you keep control of the people. Because if nobody's different, nobody stands out, and man, whoever's in charge will always control that element.
That's true, but it's so many. Like I say, I'm gonna give big ups to that final answer.
That was a great answer. I like that. That was hot business.
Because at the end of the day, that's probably what we need to stick with. And then I love it when she said her and God. So the bottom line, if you put that structure there, making a universal source energy the prime example, the head period, it would dictate to you exactly how your structure should be. I think it's individuality in the household and what works for you and how y'all can make it happen. And it shouldn't be that, you shouldn't take in outside entities unless it's going to be for improvement. If it ain't about improvement, and I'm talking about improvement in a way where it's a balance.
You say outside. What do you mean by outside
when I say, entities? Like social media. When you allow people to dictate to you a fantasy world from TV, all that, when you look at that, I want my family to be like that. We need to be like this. We need to be like the Huxtables. We need to be like this. That may not work for every household. So you can't allow things like that to dictate what goes on in your house. You are the dictator. Both of you guys together collectively are the dictatorships on what's going on in that house.
Well, first of all, I think that there is an order. God, man, woman, child. Period. Now, if you agree with me on that, then we can successfully do something. We can have a discussion and make things work the way that they're supposed to work. So it's like the recipe to a good meal. If you don't follow the recipe, you will never get the same taste. You will never get the same results. The minute that you start getting away from the recipe, you're gonna have a problem. Now, and we talking about when you're talking about the order, God, man, woman, child, that should be a no-brainer. And I mean, I guess that's what togetherness got to come in, because if that don't happen, then it's not going to be any success anyway.
You said my thoughts, everyone. This is from Vicky. My thoughts are everyone should be on their own if they're single. If you should be blessed and have a spouse, you both should have each other's back. Husband has his duty, the wife has her responsibility, but together we stand strong. Remember, family who prays together stays together. Again, it goes back to the order with God, man, woman, and children. And that's basically what it is. It's putting the order back. That's the order what I'm talking about. We got to put that order back in our families. They shouldn't see a man being disrespected in his household, whatever the case may be. It shouldn't see a woman being disrespected in a household. They both collectively make it, like Pamela say, make it do what it do, period. With the guidance of the God being the head first. You know? Yeah,
you gotta. It's a lot of stuff that's got to be fixed.
Yeah,
it's a lot that's got to be fixed.
Yeah, but if you put the order back, so this is my whole thing of this whole conversation, because we got young minds coming up today. They have to know what this is. This ain't no, a man sit back and let a woman take care of him. It's not a woman sit back and let a man take care of her. It shouldn't be that type of goal. We both supposed to take care of each other.
What's going to make that young person listen to you?
That's the whole thing, because
they got to respect you. And a lot of times I see where people, and I see a lot of the elders, like people in my age range, they're not even trying to hear what the young people are saying. Like when I went down to Peoria to mentor them kids, man, my thing was nobody was trying to hear what they were saying. I saw a panel come up and the kids were asking the professors and stuff questions. And at a certain point, I got pissed. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, give me that microphone.
Wow.
I'm like, listen. I'm like, y'all getting up here, you giving these children these politically correct answers, and they got to walk out of these doors and walk into sex, drugs, violence, and ain't none of the answers that you giving them gonna help them get through that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, what you doing right now is pointless. Yeah. You got to tell them the truth. Stop lying to them.
Oh, yeah.
If you, see, when you lie to these kids, man, the minute that they find out that your word isn't credible, your respect is out the door.
That's absolute.
It don't exist.
And that's why I said that, accountability is just straight up what it is. And that's how me and my son's relationship became just extraordinary, because I had a certain accountability. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, son, your mom did some things wrong, and I got to correct that.
Hey, I heard you going off on him one.
So, I'm thinking, hey, the balance have to be there. You can't be so strict that you don't give him love. No, because I'm based upon certain things I've seen.
Okay.
All right, based on something I'm saying, you're not gonna be like this, and you're not gonna be like that. So I was just structuring his whole mindset. This is how it's gonna go down. But as I start to, understanding things, I had to change things and say, hey, I apologize for being a little bit.
Wait a minute.
I apologize. I'm holding myself accountable for the things that I might have said, and I might have had a point of shifting your mindset to a certain, condition that I needed,
Man, by a show of applause, likes, waves, or whatever, how many of y'all have actually apologized for something that you have done wrong? I want to see it. I want to hear it. I got a song coming up on the next album called I Apologize. It's my tribute to the black woman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all need to be doing some apology.
Here we go. See? Oh, brother.
You know what's coming.
Man.
But it was an excellent show.
You need to take all that attitude and put it in a glass and squeeze some lemon in it, because you are really bitter, okay?
I'm gonna write a dope song. Gonna be on your next album.
No, it ain't, man. Please.
But anyway, you guys' comments was very enlightening. Even the comments on the post was really something. It was heartfelt, and I felt like this show needed to be had again. Like I say, my whole motivation is being able to change the mindset that's coming up, and they need to have something to follow. We need to bring something back that's been taken away, and if we can do that, maybe we can shift the things that's going on today with our young people. So I'm real concerned about shifting and shaping their minds back to the order of what it's supposed to be, because they don't know, and we have a responsibility to make sure that happens. To make sure that we change our structure. We change the things. First, we hold ourselves accountable for where we went wrong and say, hey, we need to have a conversation. We need to talk about it. I know you saw this, that, and the other when I was this